This is Mr. Beck Does Your Homework, AP Physics, Homework 3.2, Question 5. An 808 Newton crate is being pushed across a level floor by a force of 352 newtons at an angle of 22 degrees above the horizontal. The coefficient of kinetic friction is 0.25. What is the acceleration of the box? Very similar to question number 4, but now you've got to look at this force. So, free body diagram tells us that we have gravity pushing down, we have a normal force up, and we have this push force, which is going to be down in this direction. So I'll call that F push. And then I'm going to have some friction back this way, just because of that coefficient of friction. My friction depends on my normal force. My normal force is not equal to gravity because this push force is going to come into play. So this push force that's coming down this way, I'm going to split into a y component and an x component. So x is going to be to the left, y is going to be down, and there's my angle. My angle is 22 degrees. And this one is 352. So now I've got Fy and Fx. So now in the up-down direction, in the y world, I guess we can call it the y world still, I have several forces. I've got my normal pushing up. I've got my gravity pushing down, but I've also got this component of the y also pushing down. So I've got these two forces down and this one up, and this thing isn't going to accelerate up or down. So what I can tell is that my normal force in this case is going to equal the magnitude of my y force and the magnitude of gravity. So if I think just magnitudes, these two are going to add together and make the normal force even bigger than gravity this time. So my gravity, in my case, they tell me 808 newtons. My y force is going to be 352 sine 22. So here, my normal force is going to be 352 sine 22 plus these many newtons, 808. So now that's my normal force. The other thing I got to worry about, now that I got my normal force, well, let me figure out my force of friction. So that's kind of dealing in the x world, if I want to separate that way. So in the x world, I've got my force of friction to the right, and I've got my push force to the left. So I've got a net force in the x direction. It's going to be however much my push is, which is really my force in the x direction, minus, in the other direction, how much friction I've got. Well, my force in the x direction is going to be my 352 cosine 22. And my force of friction is going to be mu times my normal force, which I just got over here. That's going to give me my net force on this box. Now, I know that my acceleration is going to be my net force divided by my mass. But, wait, they gave me newtons here, so my mass, since my weight in newtons is going to be my mass times gravity, if I want my mass, that's going to be my weight in newtons divided by the acceleration of gravity. So for me, that's 808 divided by 9.81. So now I've got a mass here, I've got a net force from there, and that will give me my acceleration of this block. So the big thing here was that since the push was down and to the left, then gravity and the push force are going to, the y component are going to add together and be equal to the normal force.